This is the plaintiff, Monica. She says she rented an apartment from the defendant and soon realized there were major electrical problems in the place. Once she realized she wouldn't be able to run an air conditioner, she decided this wasn't the place for her to be because she can't handle the heat. The defendant's refusing to return her money, and she needs the judge's help recovering the $1,550 she's owed. This is the defendant, Jennifer. She says the plaintiff is a hoarder, and she couldn't get into the place to inspect it or make repairs. The plaintiff violated her lease. She has every right keeping the money she's kept, and she's pretty darn sure the law's on her side today, and the plaintiff will be walking out of here with nothing. She's accused of ticking off a tenant.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiff rented an apartment, all sorts of problems, including electrical, so she bailed. But the defendant says the plaintiff is such a hoarder, she couldn't even come in to see if there were problems. It's the case of hoarder. We hardly knew her.
Thank you, Douglas. Monica, you are suing Jennifer. Neither of you want your last names mentioned for $1,550 of a security deposit that you want returned to you because you feel that Jennifer is unfairly keeping it. You feel that she breached the contract and therefore you're entitled to. Talk to me first.
Okay, when I plug my electrical appliances in, everything was chipping out.
Was what?
Chipping out. If I'm in this room and I turn on light into another room, this one would chip out. So
what's chip out? One. You mean it wouldn't work?
The electricity, yes.
Okay, go on.
So because another apartment is downstairs, I think the electricity needed was to upgrade it to like a 220. For my fan wasn't working. The refrigerator, if the microwave is turned on, it chip out the light in the other room.
Okay, did you tell your landlord this?
Yes.
And did she tell you about this?
She did tell me that there were some electrical issues.
Okay, did you remedy them?
Yes, however, the reason that there were problems is because she actually put a freezer in that was prohibited, which I told her from day one. And she clandestinely actually put the freezer there because I specifically told her that she could not bring any other refrigerator besides the one that I provided, which was a brand new refrigerator for her.
Okay. So was there any electrical work done by an electrician?
After she told me, yes, because she had electrical outlets in the kitchen overloading the system. The building is 1927 and the 120 volt will not support it.
Right. Did the electrician do any electrical work, yes or no?
He did.
Okay. So what did the landlord tell you? That you're overloading it by putting too much stuff?
She said it's because I bring in a freezer inside there.
Right. So she told you to get the freezer out.
But what happened, I had meat in the freezer, and she gave me a small refrigerator that it couldn't fit my meat.
Okay, I understand. When do the problems arise between you and your landlord besides the electricity? Is it in April?
Well, from my move-in, she came to inspect the apartment in May. She said I have to have everything unpacked by that time. But
okay, what do you care whether she unpacks or not?
No, that's incorrect. From the day that Monica moved in, I'd like to tell you that she violated the lease. The first thing was she changed the locks without my authorization. Okay, that's a violation of the lease. She also had, she was obviously a hoarder. She had clothes piled 5 feet high, and I have pictures and a video of it, which is another violation. She had a china closet blocking the window, which is another fire hazard. She had personal clothing in the common area of the building.
Wait.
Okay,
is this the freezer?
Is the kitchen. That is the kitchen.
Right. What's that white thing?
That is actually the refrigerator, brand new.
That's your refrigerator.
That's right. So that's the before. This is the kitchen after she moved her stuff in, and you can see the china closet is covering the window, which is a clear fire hazard. So that's the after.
Let me just ask you a question. If no one else lives there, what skin is it off your nose? Right. If someone decides to do something stupid in their own house that they're renting from you, is that a violation that you get a chance to complain about?
Yes, it is. Because,
why?
Well, first of all, my father was FDNY, so I know very much about fire hazards.
But who would she make that unsafe for besides herself?
Herself.
Right.
But it's also...
But she can't sue you for it if she decided to put that there. You didn't do it.
Well, we live in a very litigious society, so who knows how people can come up with frivolous suits.
Okay, I'm sorry. We're talking. Why are you interrupting?
But also you can see all the items that are there, which is
Right.
the fire hazard as well. So that was just one facet of the fire hazard. If you go to the next page, that's the before room. And then you can look at the...
Oh, my
no, you
goodness.
can't even walk in there.
Good Lord.
Okay? That's a fire hazard.
In the sense of what? You have declared, and I realize you're the daughter of a New York firefighter, but you have declared that having all that stuff is a fire hazard, and I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Like, she's not storing combustible. She just,
She did. That's what I'm trying to tell you. She had a propane gas tank in the apartment as well.
Oh, get out of here.
Yes, she did.
Did you have that inside of the house?
Is being a hoarder a fire hazard?
I think it can be.
With a propane gas tank in the apartment?
I think it can be.
What do you say?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't think there's any question. Going inside the courtroom.
I moved with it, not to keep it there because I have an outdoor. So
Did you ever move it out?
Yes, I took it into storage.
No, I took it out because it was a fire hazard.
Okay. When the people move me in, they just bring in the things, so I had to move.
Who
them,
are the people? These weren't professional movers. These were like your friends and relatives.
No, they were movers. So when they moved the things in, they did not.
So what month did you tell her you got to go?
Okay, so after I tried to bring the exterminator to actually do the regular extermination, that's when I discovered...
The exterminator couldn't even move in there because you can't move.
The exterminator couldn't do anything. Nobody could. Forget about it, as they say. You couldn't do anything in there.
Because
as they say here.
So then, so after I discovered that, I said I needed to come and inspect. I gave her a certain amount of time to correct.
And you told her, unpack your stuff and live like a person, and then...
Well, I didn't say unpack. I'm just saying, listen, you have to make it so that you can walk in or I can get anything done. It just was... And so after that, I kept sending her notes. Listen, I need to do the initial inspection.
Who else lived in that building? Another renter?
I have a letter also from the other tenant in the building describing her bad behavior. Yes.
Why was it that you weren't unpacked? Because you can't live like that. Why was it you weren't unpacked? I'm just curious.
This is when I move in, because I move in the things in the car.
Okay,
and
but
I just
she
move
wasn't there
everything in.
during your move, okay? She came afterwards, and according to you, was how long after a month?
May.
Yes.
May.
After a month.
Well,
you moved in
after.
April 1st. She takes the pictures in May, you say.
May,
So
yes.
what? So yes, then normal people are asking, why does it look like this after a month?
Those clothes was sitting on my bed. I was unpacking them to fold them to put in my drawer. It's me alone. It's by myself. They were on my bed.
According to the other tenant, she says that you would hang your loads of smelly personal clothing in the common area of the building, and that tenant spoke to the landlord about moving it. That you cluttered the backyard with ladders, tires, garbage pails, dirt, and plants. And that you didn't dispose of your garbage properly, as there were Popeye's chicken bones and garbage thrown in the back, which resulted in maggots.
I don't eat Popeye.
And maggots and an unsanitary situation right under her window.
I have a picture of that too.
We were very happy after she left. Let me see the picture of the maggots. Okay. Look at the maggots.
Yes.
This is while she was still living there?
Yes. He always took the garbage out, the first floor tenant, but then he kept going back there and there's chicken bones, Popeye stuff.
I need to explain that when you're finished.
Yeah, so anyway, the disposal, she wasn't following those rules either.
Okay, go ahead. Let me give you a chance to respond.
Okay, the downstairs where those clothes is, there's a closet downstairs as you walk in. Those clothes there, I just lift my clothes out the car and I hang them there with the intention to bring them upstairs.
Yeah, but I don't
after.
buy that, because there was enough time for the tenant to get angry, for the tenant to bring it to her attention, for her to go over and for her to take pictures, which we all know happened a month after you moved in. So that's not, I put them there for a second. That's not true.
Okay.
And that's the common area.
Those bags she show you in the back? Those
maggots?
bags in the back?
Yeah.
Those bags in the back. I had a freezer. When I moved there, I moved with a freezer. I told her before I moved that I have refrigerator and stove.
And she told you couldn't bring appliances in?
No. She said I could store them in her garage because it's empty. No one is using it, so I could store my things in there. So I put
that doesn't mean you can plug them in and create an electricity hazard.
Okay, what is
Which, by the way, is relevant, because if you're creating an electricity hazard, now we've got something that's going to light up all those boxes and clothes.
I did not create
Okay.
I didn't agree. Okay,
let me ask you a question.
Those bags around there is the meat from the freezer. I had to take them, I put them
yeah,
into
but
black
there's
bags.
no reason why there should be maggots. If you know you're putting away meat, then go dispose of it properly so the maggots don't come.
I didn't see no maggot. I don't know what's that.
Those are maggots.
I was there and I didn't see them.
Well,
I didn't
those are
see
maggots. And according to the neighbor that was right under his window.
It's not true. They are lying.
Look, you know, when I was in law school, the place where myself and my 4 roommates housemates lived, this fellow had the poor taste to rent out his place to 5 law students. He actually went around and wrote us a nasty letter about numerous things that he didn't want happening again, including my underwear was on the floor. Okay? If I want my underwear on the floor of a place I am paying rent for, my underwear is gonna live on the damn floor. And you are a dirty old man for writing me a letter discussing my underwear on an unannounced visit in my place. Okay? So you couldn't get a more sympathetic judge to the fact that you're renting the place and that you need to have privacy. However, this is not somebody walking in the day after you move in. This is somebody who told you, I'm gonna come in and do an inspection. It's right in your lease that she's gonna walk in and do an inspection, okay? She has to worry about another family who's living there. You're putting in plugs in places where overloading the electrical circuitry, and then you've got a storage room going on there. And she doesn't say, get out. She says, you've got X amount of time to cure, and then you don't. And then she says, you gotta get out. You're in default. And then you leave. And then she keeps 1 month security. There were 2 months security on the table. She returned the other security, but she kept 1 month. Why? Because you signed a lease that specifically says she can do that if you default, and that's the reason why you have to leave. It's right in the lease, right? Did you read the lease?
I don't remember that was there.
I'm calling it. She has a right to keep one of the 2 security deposits. I find that you're the one who defaulted. My verdict in this case is for the defendant.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Well, Judge Mullion decides the defendant was totally within her rights. Monica, the plaintiff's on her way out of the courtroom. Ma'am, if you'll step over here, I'm over here. If you'd have read the lease, you wouldn't have been in here in court, I think.
Yes, I didn't read it all. But I didn't unpack my things because I couldn't stay there.
Well,
I couldn't be there in the summer. Nothing worked inside. No electricity work inside here. She need at least a 120.
Right. You explain that to the judge, but the lease is specific and you lost on that. Sorry, thank you very much. You must sign some documents. Our bailiff, Officer McIntosh, is that way. Thank you, ma'am. Jennifer, you're the defendant on her way out of the courtroom. Congratulations. Obviously, you were in the right.
Yes.
You knew what you were doing, and you were a very good defendant.
No, thank you. I mean, we live in a land of laws, and there are contracts, and you have to abide by them. It's that simple.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay. Harvey, what do you think?
You know, if there are major electrical problems, the landlord has a reasonable time to fix it, but it has to be fast. And if they don't fix it, the tenant can walk away and get the security back.